It's Wednesdays with Keegan, who's in his palatial New York hotel room, sitting watching the Jays. And I always glass half full, Keegs. On Tuesday night, at least the Jays bullpen didn't cost them a game.
Wow. We're reaching already, Dan.
Yep.
I love it.
Yep.
I love it. I like the coping this time of year. Because it's all based a lot of the good news around the Blue Jays right now is based on the fact that other things are bad. And that's when you know things are going really well. It's they're only a couple games out of the wild card. Yeah, because everyone else sucks.
Mm-hmm.
That's not good news, you know. And the bullpen, yeah, that's been the story of this season, though, Dan. You play like I'm thinking like football minded, offense, defense, special teams. You know, you've got your defense, your offense, and pitching. And the Blue Jays have one of those working at a time. Sometimes two of them, never three of them.
Mm-hmm.
Never three. And last year was what it looks like when all three work at the same time. Like John Schneider always says, playing in sync. And that's not a buzzword. Like it's one of the things that I really make some sense of. Playing in sync is when your entire team is working at the same time. And we saw so clearly what that looks like last year. Now we are seeing so clearly what it doesn't look like. And even within Dylan Cease's start, Dan, I mean, he looked like the best pitcher in the world for 3 innings. Then it falls apart. There's just nothing is lasting. And it feels disjointed. You know, I feel like I'm watching a team that is just reaching for an identity right now and doesn't have it.
That's what Vlady Guerrero's doing at the plate. Man, some of his swings, and they were pointing on the broadcast, they're like every part of his body's going in a different direction.
That's right. The low and away slider to Vlady when he reaches and lunges, because you know, as a man that's not built small myself, Dan, when you get the big top half tilted over the legs, over the edges of the boat, you start to topple. And that's what we're seeing from Vlady. When Vlady is at his best, so much of his power, just like Okamoto, just like a lot of great power hitters, comes from the hips, the upper legs, the lower part of his core. It's not just arms, okay? Like power hitters don't just have big biceps and hit the ball far. It's from the body. Think of Jose Bautista. He's not a big guy. Okay, I think people assume that Bautista's like 6'4", 225. No, it's all legs. It's all rotation. And lately, we have not seen any of that from Vlady. You have seen a lot of pitches where he is just flailing with his arms. Last night against Doval was a good example. Now, Doval throws 101 or 102. Good luck. I'd have my eyes closed. But Vlady was just flipping his arms, trying to make contact. I would much rather see him fully commit, using his legs, using his body, and missing. Whatever. Take your best swing, though. And I feel like we have not seen Vlady take his best swing. That's the problem. When we do see Vlady take his best swing, I don't care if he's striking out a bit more. I don't care if he's missing, taking a big hack on the first pitch and going 0-1. That's okay. The at-bats that, I shouldn't say bother me. It's not that serious, but the at-bats I don't love are when he's just trying to make contact and stay alive. Like, Vlady's game should not be about staying alive. It should be about punishing the other pitcher, and he's just not doing that.
This was the series where we thought Vlady would come alive, being the villain in New York. This is also where we were last season. We're like, we were waiting for the Vlady moment. It didn't arrive until the postseason. But even the fans in New York, he's coming to the plate, and there's barely any reaction. You're in the building. Maybe you can tell me otherwise, but even they're looking at him saying, hey, he's not going to do anything.
Yeah, some idiot should have written a story about Vlady coming back to New York. Whoopsie. The reaction hasn't been what I expected. Now, granted, the Yankees just aren't selling out games here this week. Like, that's part of it. And I almost tweeted that. I didn't want it to be a shot at the Yankees or whatever. I mean, very few teams in baseball get what the Blue Jays are getting right now. 40K on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's really rare, like really rare. And it just doesn't happen other places. The Yankees have a lot of empty seats here. So if it was full, it would be louder. But you don't get that sense of hatred that I thought they would. Like, it's been less than I thought. It really has been. And it's, I think, very quickly put into perspective that nobody really cares about the ALDS last year. The Yankees are used to being in the ALDS because they go to the playoffs every damn year. So this is a bit of Toronto brain not really matching up with New York brain, where they're used to it. Like, whatever. Yeah, Vlady mashed in the playoffs. He beat them. He danced in their clubhouse. Whatever. It's a new year, and the Yankees are a lot better than the Blue Jays. And looking back to last year, I mean, it was the big narrative coming into the series, Dan, because how the media game works is that this is the first time in New York since then. So every national guy, every New York person, they stroll in thinking they're the first person to ask about this. My God, they're not. But it's the Blue Jays just don't care. You know, like I think the players are exhausted being asked. I caught John Schneider walking down the hallway the other day, and I was just kind of BSing him. But I was like, Schneider, come here, dude. Did you know this is a rematch of the ALDS? And before I got it out, he was like, all right, geeks. But they're tired of it, and I think that Yankees fans just aren't acknowledging it. You know, you're not seeing the hatred for Vlad, which in itself is a bit of a diss to the guy, I think.
Yuriel Rodriguez returned to the Blue Jays lineup on Monday and proceeded to throw batting practice. It was ugly.
That was bad. And that's on Yariel. I know that it's easy to play manager, and this is where we're at, Dan. I'm getting 100 tweets saying, why wasn't Jeff Hoffman used there? Now you want the guy?
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? John Schneider could put God on the mound, and somebody would want someone else, okay? It's the job of a major league pitcher to get one out before you allow 4 runs. That's the solution here. I know that blaming the manager is the easy thing to do. And I haven't loved every decision the Jays have made in this series or this week, but the solution is for a big leaguer to get one out before you allow 4 runs. He came in with 2 outs, okay? And I know that everyone wants to see Adam Macko stay in there and face Aaron Judge, maybe in hindsight, but I'm a big believer, Dan, that we should like pause the game, and it's like, all right, everyone get your takeout right now. You don't get to do it later. Put it on the table right now. Do you think this is right or wrong? Then we'll resume the game. Because, I think a lot of people, when they saw Aaron Judge coming up, were like, okay, get Macko out. He's a young lefty who's never pitched in the big leagues before. Get him out. He's done okay. The moment Yariel gets torched, well, I think Adam Macko should have stayed in there. That's up to Yariel. He's got to get an out. There's no other way around it. There's no other thing. He just needs to get an out. And that has got to be so damn frustrating for a manager. When you're in a spot like that, your bullpen is gassed because your offense isn't scoring enough and every game is close. You just need one out, and you can't get it. From Yariel, who is and should be a big league reliever. He doesn't need to be an ace, but just a decent reliever. And you can't get it. Like, that's when you're in the dugout as a manager thinking, what the hell do I do next?
Well, the Jazz Chisholm home run off the foul pole, you're like, okay, that's a playable ball to left. And no, it's Yankee Stadium. It's gone.
Not here. Not here. And I mean, the Bellinger home run in this series skipped off the top of the wall. It's, man, that is tough. When it happens to your team, it's a joke stadium. It's a Mickey Mouse field. When the Blue Jays homer, no one tells me that. I don't know why not. But, man, this is just a place that's why you can't be walking batters. Like, they go back to Dylan Cease yesterday. If you are in a big ballpark, okay, a little more room for error. If you walk a single guy at Yankee Stadium, you're a pop fly away from being down 2-0. I mean, good luck.
Well, you mentioned Cease. There's a piece of good news. He leads the American League in strikeouts. And we also had the emergence of Adam Macko, the Canadian return of the Mac. And for a guy making his major league debut, when they brought him in, I was one of those people. I'm like, you're bringing this guy in for his first appearance at Yankee Stadium, and he was great.
I mean, good luck, kid. Like, that's as tough as it gets for Macko, and he handled that really well. It was funny talking to him after. Like, he said he was not as cool as he looked out there. Like, he blacked out. He was, and I like this, Dan, because I'm a big believer that, broadly speaking, ballpark game operations, you're doing too much, okay? And these like attempting to intimidate the relief pitcher coming in, it just feels like you're giving them a walk-in song. Okay. And Adam Macko was like, I started running out of the bullpen and they were playing this song and there was a light show and I was wondering why they were doing it for me because I'm a visitor. I was like, exactly, dude. Okay. You're not intimidating any relievers. You're just making them look cool.
Was it Return of the Mac? Were they playing that?
It was not, unfortunately.
Ah.
Like the Blue Jays at Rogers Center last week played like a dance mix of Enter Sandman when the other team's reliever came in.
Silly.
Stop it. You're making them look cool. But Macko was great, man. And the door is wide open for anyone who can throw multiple innings competently to stick around for a while. And Macko was passed up quite a few times for promotions. Like, think back through Lazaro Estrada, Austin Voth, a lot of relievers who have come through here. Macko could have been that guy, and he wasn't. So he's getting a shot now. The Canadian connections are exciting. Slovakian connection. I didn't think I'd be talking about a Slovakian-born baseball player, but really cool story. Really great young guy, like really engaging to talk to. You can tell how much this means to him and how excited he is about it. Like just a really bright person to talk to. But he's got a shot, man. If you are getting outs, like I don't care if I go get a ground ball, they will pitch me the next day. Anyone who is getting outs for this team right now will get another chance and will stick around.
Unrelated to all this, I just popped in on my brain in one of the many Yankees meetings on the mound, which all went on for about 10 minutes. I was looking at it and I'm like, why is the bat boy out there? I could not get over how young and youthful Ben Rice is. He looks like a 10-year-old.
Boy wonder, man. He's I don't know if he can grow any sort of stubble, like he's just he is a very young looking man who hits baseballs very far. Like it's not fair that the Yankees just have another one of these guys, right? And eventually when Giancarlo Stanton's body works, maybe they'll have a third guy. But Ben Rice, I mean, he's tied with Aaron Judge now, 16 homers. And that home run he hit off Dylan Cease was ridiculous. Like, that's not on Dylan Cease at all. I'm usually the last guy to take blame away from a pitcher, but that pitch was up and inside the zone, 97 miles an hour. And Ben Rice, who's a big dude, pulls his hands in and yanks it over the wall. Like, come on. Ridiculous. And this Yankees lineup is just scary. Man, I would not want to pitch against them.
Yeah, and then you got Jazz Chisholm. He's wearing, is it Judge's pants
I think
or
it's
Stanton's pants?
Yeah, I like the look.
It's
I know people are going to roll their eyes because it's Jazz Chisholm, and there's always something going on there. I think Jazz is a fun player, man. I know he's not off to a great start, but like the baggy pant, high sock look that's pretty elite. Like I feel like I'm watching like a basketball player bring back the long shorts from the 90s type thing, or like it's a throwback, man. It's cool, and he's the right guy. He's the right personality for it.
So the Jays are still in New York. They are still in the wild card hunt, very much so. This team is well past okay, let's reset. Today's a new day. What is the message in the locker room now? Because this team must feel like, as you said, we can't catch a break. We can't get all three facets of our game working at the same time. What are we doing?
Yeah, you just got to hit, Like last year, John Schneider, he prided himself on not having any team meetings. And I'm not saying it's time for that right now. It's May 20th. But this is something that needs to be led by the players as much as anyone else. I know when the lineup goes bad. I mean, I'm stupid enough to read my mentions sometimes. I see what people are saying. People are pissed off at David Popkins, the hitting coach. And I get it. He got some praise when things were going well. But there seems to be this misunderstanding that you can just walk into the clubhouse and be like, all right, fellas, go hit. It's not that easy. Like it needs to be organic and natural. And it needs to come from the players. Like I know the wild card is wide open. I'm just looking at it right now. But the Yankees will stick around. The Mariners will. I don't think the White Sox are going to stick around there too long. But, I mean, Boston, Baltimore, Detroit will be better. Houston, I think, will be better. They always are. But I don't think that being around the wild card is something the Jays can care about. It's going to be used by people who are coping a bit,
Me?
or media who are apologists for the team. Like it'll be used on, when people are talking about it. Don't worry about it. They're 2 back of the wild card. Dude, they have $1 billion payroll. They've got to be going for the division. We saw last year how much winning the division helps you control what's in front of you. But then we saw in 2020, 22, and 23, the wild cards. They went 0-2, 0-2, and 0-2. The wild card ain't it. And it's a very, very steep hill for the Blue Jays to climb to get back into the division race. I don't know if anyone's catching the Rays. They are really good. But
well, I just wanted to say, you know what this is all shaping up? You know what's going to happen? Alejandro Kirk is going to return, and everything is going to flip. And then
honestly, yeah,
that will be the story of the season, the return of Kirk, where he fixed everything.
I believe it. Like, he's that important to this team. And he won't say anything. It won't look loud, or, he's not going to walk back into the clubhouse and be like, I'm back. Like, he'll walk in and grunt and put his gear on and play a game. And
well, it's like dad returning home and the house works again. Everything's working again.
Dad's back. I like that analogy. But, man, Kirk is it's difficult for me to explain how important Alejandro Kirk is. It doesn't fully show up in the stat line, but holistically, what he is defensively, what he means to the pitching staff, very specifically, how he fits this lineup as a bat who makes a ton of contact behind Vlady. He just balances everything out. And I think he just makes this clubhouse feel good. Like when Alejandro Kirk is there, he's a foundational player in this organization right now. Like Vlady, of course, is the whole house. But Alejandro Kirk is one of those 2 or 3 others who are crucial to the identity of this team. And you're missing that in a big way right now.
And he's going to be back when?
Around the start of June. May 20th right now. I think we'll know more by probably Friday of this week, because his hand's still a little bit sore when he's hitting, which is the last hurdle to get over. But if he can get back that first week of June, big win. I think Brandon Valenzuela still has the inside track on that other job, and that's a damn good catching tandem. Like, that's a catching tandem most teams in baseball would take happily.
I'm not talking ill will towards Tyler Heineman, but I got a text from a buddy last night, and he says, I have not seen Tyler Heineman get a hit this season. How is his average even at 100?
It's been a while. In his first plate appearance last night, Mitch Bannon from The Athletic, sitting next to me, noticed this. I didn't notice it at the time. He went to the plate still wearing like his pitch calling thing on his forearm as well, which didn't seem helpful. But the man can bunt. My God, the man can drop a bunt. I'll give him that. But last year's magic seems to have fully worn off, and that's tough at the plate. You can have a black hole in the lineup if the rest of the lineup's good. Just have a great defender in there who might slap a single once a week. When everyone else is struggling, that's a real, real tough fit. Valenzuela is just such a better option offensively right now.
And lastly, Addison Barger. What's going on?
He is ideally going to start throwing today.
Okay.
So that's good. That means that there's no surgery, nothing big there. What happens the next time he tries to throw a ball 500 miles an hour? I don't know. We'll see. But man, he hasn't played this season. Barger essentially has not played. I'm not going to pay much attention to his first week. It was bad. He is essentially starting his season again. And this lineup needs upside. Very few hitters on this team have as much upside as Addison Barger. Very few people can hit a ball as hard as him. And if there's anything this team needs right now, it's just a damn home run. Like, just somebody to break a game open. Barger can do that.
Thanks, buddy. Enjoy your time in New York.
You got it, Dan.